be releasing funds until number one, they're on an exchange. Number two, they're on an ROI site. And number three, we've had a 48-hour sweep of any concerns within the community currently, where we could potentially offer a refund prior to handing over those funds. There is a monitoring after that. There is some communication timelines around that. And we are very close to launching that. The chances are we will probably launch it towards Sunday and Monday. The biggest hold up within launching it now at the moment is around all the documentation and understanding the differences in laws in different countries around data protection. But I am working hard on it. And as I say, I do have a solicitor running it over with me. So that's the first project we're going to be launching, certainly within the next few weeks. So now I want to move on to Crypto Hunter, which I'm sure most of you are more interested to hear about. So Crypto Hunter is a game. It's an augmented reality game which will allow you to search for coins within your local area, and it's based upon the Pokemon Go game. Our aspiration around Crypto Hunter is not only to draw in new existing investors, but mainly draw in new investors. I imagine that the actual percentage of population within this space currently are those that are already in it, and the growth rate, although is good year on year and month on month, I think there's still a lot of dubious thought processes on whether I'd like to do it. I don't know enough about it. There's lots of articles about risk and scams and swing trading. So what we want our game to do is not only be fun and enjoyable for the user to play, but it will also have an educational side to it. So there will be cue cards that will come up that would explain things like the difference between ASIC mining, GPU mining. It will explain Masternodes. It would explain local wallet setups. It would explain security around encrypting your wallets. So anything that we can possibly think of from an educational stance will be within this game on a cue card that they can either favorite and review later, or it will pop up during the game every 20 minutes. It isn't an ad. It's about making sure that the people that are playing the game that aren't currently in this space, they learn enough about it to come and want to join us on our journey. The game is currently in alpha release. It's on Marcin's phone. Is that right, Marcin? You're going to have to unmute.
Yeah, that's correct. It's on my phone.
Yes.
Already.
So we'll give you a little bit of...
Mike, sorry. We will share the video of the game on Discord maybe?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Marcin clicked it on earlier today. He was rotating his phone around the room, and he managed to spot a coin in his whatever room he was in. It is in alpha release. We are currently working on it. There is still quite a little bit of work to do, not because the project's delayed, but because through the process of the game developing, obviously you start off with a skeleton scope in order what you want the game to look like. As we go through the motions of that scope, rather than go back and recode anything, we're adding things to the game. So we're adding, obviously we came up with the educational side. We've come up with some sort of bonus activity that we might add. We can't add everything into the game to delay its release, but what we're doing is understanding our availability to add anything that isn't going to adjust the original code that we've already moved forward past. There's a lot of exciting features to this game, which we're considering. When you consider somebody's walking around their town, they're collecting coins, that goes to their local wallet. When you think of in the long term, certainly around 2019, because we are looking at reproducing our roadmap. If we, let's say, partner with Polis and we go down the Polis route of having our own card, we find coins in the game, we add them to the Polis card, we're able to spend that card in stores around our area. We're looking to promote in businesses that accept crypto as payment. So we have a perfect platform for trying to draw in businesses to accept payment in crypto and try to socially increase the level of businesses that will accept crypto as payment. So I know it's happening in small little steps, but I suppose our position allows us then to use our platform not only to advertise businesses, but also have a follow through all the way to the end. That's our ambition. It won't be on beta release, and it's well, I'm talking about now the businesses, but in the long term, we will be looking to update the game, add to it. So that's Crypto Hunter. We will share a video with you later today. It is live with us currently, and we are still working on it. It shouldn't be long before it's complete for beta release. We will be selecting people within our community to beta release this once we've confirmed that the vision that we had is in the game, and then we'll get some feedback from some of you. We can't obviously offer everybody a beta release testing. We want to keep it to a select few numbers, but we will select that as and when we're ready. So that's Crypto Hunter. Right. The next thing I've mentioned card payments. So the next thing I'm going to move on to is going to be around rebranding, roadmaps, white papers, names, websites. We took on the business and we carried on the Satoshi name. We did this for two reasons. It's what people are familiar with. There are people within our community that would have been us from the start. For instance, Javanix. I mean, I've talked to Javanix by phone. He would have been in the community a long time. And it's what people are familiar with. I suppose now what we're looking to do is, given that we acquired the business and we're moving forward with our own ideas and the money that we're investing on a weekly basis, not only to the upkeep of the business, but the future aggressive ambition we have through 2019, we are looking to now move it into a corporate feel. We want to look at what technology is out there. We're not looking at forking. We're not looking at swapping at this stage. What we're looking at is a marketable name, a rebrand in terms of our logo, something quick, something snappy, something appealing and palatable. So we're in the middle of trying to understand that. We're looking at our competitive set to understand what they have. We're looking at our competitive set to understand what they don't have. And what we'll do from that is try to pitch what we think we should be looking like moving forward. And it's about us putting our mark on it. We can put our mark on it in terms of products. We can put our mark on it in terms of the money we spend. But I feel the outcome of this needs to be our own mark in terms of what we feel the business should be called and what we feel the business should represent. And as we go through our marketing plan or roadmap plan, it would be nice that we look what we're going to be like at the end of 2019. So John has started on a roadmap around some of the ideas we have. We're having daily calls around lots of ideas we're all throwing into the mix. Yesterday I had to tell the guys, look, just slow down a minute, one thing at a time. But the ideas that are coming from John, the ideas that are coming from Adam, the ideas of having a local wallet where you can launch your Masternode through our hosting solution straight away. These are things that are achievable, that aren't currently on the marketplace. So slowly but surely, we're going to be adding functionality that nobody else has. And as we add the functionality, we've also got other avenues to generate revenue for SATC. Right now, I can confirm all SATC taken through our platform is not sold on the market. We do not wash trade our own coin. We retain it. We retain it in the instance that the more scarce the coin, the higher the price. So I've spoke to Mar about during the week, Mar, and you can confirm this. We have decided to set up a transparency book for our community. This will show the coins that I hold personally, which I would have paid every penny for, the coins that the company currently holds, the coins that the marching company holds, and anybody else that wants to come on this journey, align themselves to our vision, and put in their wallet address, will have access to our VIP area and give them foresight into announcements or ideas or group discussions around before any sort of further community announcement. We're doing this because we want people to feel that right now we're not interested in what money we're taking. Every single bit of money we make goes into our growth agenda. And we were talking to, I was talking to John earlier in the week, and he had a great idea. So we take SATC through our platform. SATC is a revenue. whatever anybody says, okay, cash is king. Cash is king. But SATC doesn't have to worry about cash because it's got Marcin and it's got me. We manage our cash flow in terms of our ambition and in terms of what is feasible every month about the current commitments we've got to keep the company running and against the cash flow we want for developments. When the game is launched, sorry about this. I'll explain why people are phoning in a minute. Our cash, yeah. So once Authenticate comes out, that will start generating BTC. We aren't going to ask businesses to pay us in SATC through Authenticate. That BTC won't be lining our pockets. It will a proportion of it will be attributed to costs, whilst we will still maintain our contribution to costs. Some of it will go to the business in terms of development, and we decided that a percentage of all income outside of SATC will be used to support our market. So we were quibbling around figures of around 30% after costs. 30% of everything we take through Authenticate will be there to buy coins off the market. Exactly the same with the game. The game isn't BTC, the game will be cash. People will be paying cash through Apple Play Store and Google Play Store. A percentage of cash through our game. Johnny, you saying something?
Yeah, I would just love a chance to chip in whenever I can.
You go ahead, because I'm reading off my agenda.
Sorry. Okay. So I just want to kind of add to what Mike is saying. In my experience in the crypto space, I used to write a blog, and I continue writing it used to be for LPC, and now it'll be for SATC, and it'll be articles relating to our use cases and how they kind of fit into the overall vision of the project. But essentially, I have read into hundreds of different crypto projects, read their white papers. I've seen what works and what doesn't work economically. And I think that as most people here are probably familiar with the Masternode space, you guys know that really high ROI does not work, especially in a bear market. It creates an impossible bubble that inevitably will collapse, and you guys will lose who knows how much. I mean, up to 99%, if not 100% in some cases of your initial investment. And that's unacceptable. One thing that tends to help is when projects will create an economic tie between their revenues from their platforms. So whether that's a hosting platform or an exchange or a game or an Authenticate product, or a combination of them all, which is what we're creating. In addition to some other use cases, there's a direct economic tie from the revenue coming in from the platforms, the volume that's on those platforms, and the price of our coin. And when that is the case, it helps to sustain the market growth, to maintain it either in a sideways fashion if the ROI is higher, to slow down downtrends, or in our case, because our ROI is low, it will allow us to actually have some growth. I think it really will not take a lot of revenue in order to boost us up significantly. And keep in mind that already, I think over 80% of the coins are locked, which puts us near the top of the list in terms of coins locked. Sorry, Mike, I don't want to get too far off your agenda, but I just wanted to chip in that this is not a model that most coins employ, and the coins that I have seen employ this model, like Midas coin, it worked for a while, but their ROI is still too high, and it still collapsed, but it was a longer go at it. But because our ROI is lower, I think that the results will be different. So it actually plays to our benefit in this case.
Great, thanks. Thanks, John. Yeah, so I think everything we're doing, anything we're reporting is mainly around it's around protecting our investors. We want to make sure that you invested your money with us. We are going to grow your money. We're going to protect your money, and we're going to make sure every decision we make is in the best interest of everybody. Whilst we try to involve the community in everything we're doing, as you can understand, some information isn't freely available at the start of our idea process. And this is because we are in a competitive market, and we have to keep things close to our chest. We would be naive to think that our competitive set isn't looking at us, because I am about to be looking at them in terms of our rebranding process. So, we're all trying to draw ideas around where we want to go and how we create a USP outside of our marketplace. And in order to create that USP, you've got to be an innovator. When I look at the top 10 coins, 20 coins on top of the CRM list, and what they're currently bringing out or what they're currently doing, they're pursuing the same dream or vision they were a year ago. The innovation is coming from the small to medium market cap companies, bringing new things out and creating real life use cases for people, real life use cases for society, real life use cases in terms of its deployment of applications. It's these innovators which drove me to a vision of an ecosystem. And it was about drawing businesses in, creating a larger market cap coin with a plethora of almost engineers and innovators within this space to create something that could challenge the top of the table, something that could move into the top 100. And the products would complement each other in a way where if a new investor came in and saw this kind of business and what it was offering against the offerings of some of the larger market cap coins, and say, well, actually, on comparison, my money is better placed here because there's a huge growth agenda here and a massive potential of price rise and remuneration for me than there would be up here. And that was the reason for the vision. That was the reason for getting into conversations. I do believe the vision's right. I do believe that this will happen this year. There will be players merging. But in this scenario, it didn't work out for a number of different reasons. But that's not to say in the future that we wouldn't be party to that. But regardless of whether the merge happened or not, we are moving forward. And actually, the more we move forward in strength, the more we enhance our product portfolio, the more we enhance our brand, the more we advertise and get people within our room, given the personal approach we have to our community. I mean, I would speak to SQL. I would speak to Javanix. I speak to John and Marshall on a daily basis. I speak to Adam. My phone is available for anybody who wants to phone me. Obviously, only when I'm not sleeping, which last night I didn't sleep really, but my phone is available to everybody. You can talk to me on here. You can talk to me on my phone. Obviously, as I'm busy, I would always get back to people. Right. So I've put showcase examples on my agenda, but what we'll do is we'll share them after, given the time frame, and we will make sure that you'll be able to see some of the things that we've been working on. So the last thing I want to address, which is something that I wasn't planning on responding to above and beyond my original statement within our community, is the recent LPC webinar. That is the reason why I didn't sleep a lot last night. I was on the phone to John to probably about 6 a.m. So I'm going to read my statement first. I will answer any questions you may have. I don't want to linger in this space. I want to make that quite clear. I don't really want the topic of conversation being the topic on our general board, because I feel there's no need for it. So I'm going to read what I've written, which I've had a long time to think about, and this should answer any questions you have. So, in relation to last night's webinar by RPC, as stated, no invitation was received by Damon to me, and we have not had any communication since Thursday at 16:33 p.m. GMT, so that's my time. However, I was part of a Polis Pay group discussion as a brand ambassador, which I wasn't aware I was still in. I saw a response from Damon, to the team at Polis, but immediately upon seeing this, I withdrew myself straight away, as I thought this matter no longer concerned me. So I would ask that if the invitation has been sent, to understand the line of communication here. I don't want to be criticized for not picking it up, but I don't understand where it would have come, what line of channel it would have come. But had I received that invitation, I would have not involved myself. given the conclusion I drew for SATC's future and the investors. I don't want to get into a feud. I certainly don't want to get into crosswords. So that's the reason why I won't be and will not be drawing myself into this. The moment I reneged on the discussion, I removed myself from the community and wanted to keep professional in not releasing details surrounding my conclusion that would coerce investors into making the decision based on my own opinion, which is why I labeled it a top level of incompatibility issues. So all I'm saying is that there are quite a lot of differences between the businesses and the leaders. I do not share Damon's leadership style nor his engagement within his community. And when I raised my concerns in reference to addressing the foundation of his project and the concerns I was seeing daily on the general board from his community, on the basis that if a vote was swung in a favorable way, I was quoted, "I'm confused as to why you are speaking on matters that do not relate to your proposal," which is proposal 3, which will be distributed tomorrow. For this reason, I drew the assumption that he thought due diligence was one way, and I prompted him to review his tact on the basis if we cannot raise our concerns now, how could this be done in the future when we are under one roof against the ecosystem? He did respond in a manner, though, that was in agreement to this, but asked me for the time being to stay in my lane. Following this, there was some unethical behavior and information shared which confirmed my opinion, which led me to affirming my decision. I am happy to answer any questions in relation to this against a time frame, but my focus must remain on our project and our direction. Wasting time here is better spent on SATC. For this reason, the Q&A at the end of the webinar or the Zoom, I will answer the majority of your questions or concerns you may have. And for one and visitors. This creates an atmosphere, which is something I've never wanted SATC to promote. We stay focused, we stay goal orientated, and we have a big aggressive delivery plan for 2019, which when we've agreed upon it, given there's so many ideas, and John will publish it, you'll understand what the space we're going after. So that is the statement I've written. And I suppose at this point, I'm open to some questions. So if the 14 people that are listening, if you have a question, please post it now in the group chat, so I can answer you.
I also have the Discord open right now. If people want to ask their questions there, I can just relay them to you, Mike.
Okay. Doesn't seem like many people have questions. So maybe we've addressed all the issues. Okay, well, look.
Here we go. We have a question. We do have a question. Was the suggestion that the current platform is not secure and has several, I can't see the whole question.
Vulnerabilities. Okay, our script. Did Damon hack SATC and tell you about the vulnerabilities? Okay, so fine. So sorry if I pronounce your usernames wrong. Our script and me Hellis. I'll answer that question. There is no evidence to suggest, based upon the information that we've received, that there is vulnerabilities within our system. We have received pictures of code, which Amar and I have extensively searched within our servers, all of them, and have not found. We have also had an external security partner that we've currently employed as of hearing about this to also search for this code, which hasn't been found. So on that basis, we believe that the vulnerabilities are not quantified. The platform is secure, but we are now going to run some tests on our platform for just to safeguard, just to double check. Now there is also a picture that he would have said around the dev team. One of our contractors in India I'm just going to see if I can find it, because I did have it. Oh, I called it Spot the Difference. Right, okay. So there was a picture that was shared over one of the contractors, one of the contractor's office on our behalf. This picture was actually posted on our contractor's Facebook on August the 15th, 2018. That is the same picture that has been shared with Damon recently. Given the layout of the cups, given the layout of the flags, given the notepad hasn't moved, and the fan blades on the wall are still in exactly the same position, I would question the validity of this claim.
We have no reason to believe that we were actually hacked, but on the off chance that we do have some security vulnerabilities, which we have no reason to believe we do, we're investing our own personal funds in order to test this thoroughly. As you said, Mike, we're hiring an independent contractor. We're signing a contract with him in order to test our systems to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
And what I want to add, Mike, sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to test with this person every single project what we're going to release. Every single one, including authentication, including games, whatever we're going to go up in the future.
Right.
All will be tested by this person.
An independent party.
Yes.
So I hope that answers your question. Thanks. So
I say one more thing.
Yeah.
The other thing was they mentioned stealing the coins from the platform. There is no coins on the platform. We don't have exchange also, so nothing about this.
Yeah. So currently, we feel there's no evidence. In your rebranding research, is there any discussion about changing the blockchain itself? For example, adding smart contracts anonymity from Zoom username. Okay, great. There has been an idea and a thought process about our blockchain, about the addition of smart contracts, about the addition of hosting around chat rooms within the same local wallet, around APIs on some ideas Adam has, the anonymity obviously option. So yes, there has been several discussions. At this current time, whilst we will change the look of our wallet, we don't want to go through we'd have to go through another swap to add smart contracts, and we're not looking to do that at this stage. But that's not something that we wouldn't look to do in the future. And my justification for that is this. I don't want to create any more because we've had registering the business under our name, just to make sure that we had some diligence around where the coins were and that we were in full control of them. But we have to consider, if the price of SATC goes up to 10 cents, in line with LPC's price, let's say, for instance, that would make a 10,000 coin masternode worth $1,000, which for an entry point of a new investor may seem steep. So we would have to consider that a consolidation of coins at a swap ratio in the future, if we want to draw in different levels of investors at different price points. Now, when we do that, we will certainly be looking to add the likes of the smart contracts and the other technology to our blockchain. But what we will be looking at in a new wallet release based on our current blockchain, which won't require a mandatory update, which won't require a fork, will just be enhancing user experience through the wallet and obviously the rebrand. So we're currently talking about it. We've got lots of ideas with logos. We've got birds. We've got koalas. We've got lots of different ideas. I'm throwing some out there because some of them are out there, but we've not come up to a decision yet on what our logo should be. What we have done, though, is come up with a name that we do like, but we are not concluding at that stage that this will be the name, but it is Swift. The reason why Swift is more, the Swift is more palatable. It's quick. It's like Dash. It's when you think of Swift Host, Swift Pay, Swift Game, Swift Bank. It's a nice, catchy market advertising name. So I hope that answers your question, Zoom. Sorry to take a step backwards. Did Damon actually contact your team and give any evidence, so-called vulnerability flaws to the platform code? Damon didn't contact us and ask for our consent to do what he did.
Or what he said he did.
Said he did. So on that basis, that becomes unethical hacking. But we did have contact from I can't remember what his name was, Niraj. Well, I know his real name. His name's Niraj. We did have contact through him. He contacted us. He came on to ask if he could help. We said, of course, if somebody's willing to help us. We thought his intention was certainly because he was investing in SATC or around those visions. At no point did we think Damon was involved in that. It was only upon Damon actually showing me some code and the picture that, as I said, was posted on the 15th of August, 2018. So it certainly wasn't last week, that I realized Damon's involvement. At that point, I made it clear, made an official announcement to both of them that the testing is to stop. They do not have consent to carry this out. And that was that certainly was my confirming of my conclusion. So I hope that's answered your question, Alscript. Thank you for the answer. Isn't SWIFT the money transfer system that banks use to transfer money from bank to bank, the one that Ripple is trying to replace? Yes, there is a SWIFT. There is a SWIFT project running with Ripple. As you can see, the difference in names is with a Y. As I said, it's not a drawn-out conclusion. It's just a name that has come up in several conversations between John, Adam, and Martin. That's not to say that's going to be the name. It's the only one currently that we've kind of embraced. So at the moment, most logos have an S in it. Me too. Okay, thanks, Dom. Are there any questions? Any other questions? Guys, I gave you permission to use my name.
Jim Coin.
Jim, Fartcoin.
Fartcoin.
Right.
Well, Allscript, to answer your question further, the evidence that Damon presented to us, we found to not actually be evidence upon double checking ourselves. So basically, they hacked us without asking us for our consent beforehand. And keep in mind, when it comes to hacking, there is a such thing as ethical hacking, but there's a right way to do it. And the right way to do it would be to contact us beforehand and to have us sign a contract with them, giving them consent to do so. In the United States, hacking without consent is illegal. So essentially, I likened it to someone breaking into your house and telling you, hey, you should really get a security system, and then wanting us to thank them for that. It's, no, you just broke into my house. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, John, I just want to make it clear. I want to move on from the decision you've made. I don't want to get into a webinar to webinar feud when we have bigger things at play. The more time we spend talking about RPC, the less progress we make on the game, the less progress we make on Authenticate, the less progress we make against our project plan and your investment. So I just want the community to understand that whilst I'm happy to answer questions at this stage, I really don't want to get into a celebrity death match with Damon on MTV.
And neither do I.
Let's keep it professional. The only reason the statement was made today was impromptu response on a webinar last night. Alternatively, if nothing was said about us or the fabricated story that was communicated to his team and his community, I wouldn't have been making this statement today. So I just want to make that clear. My intention was top level, and I would have thought in most industries, companies do not air their dirty laundry on differences of opinion. They create a top level justification as to why they're not moving forward, and they just move forward. And that was my approach. At this stage, I'll be investing in your platform. Thanks for the transparency. If that is maintained, you have my support. Can we have a sheep in the game for Jim? Absolutely, our script. We'll have a look at that, but thank you for your support. Can you tell us how many crypto coins will be in the game? At this stage, Dom, we do have coins lined up. The reason why we've taken no investment into coins into the game yet is because they're looking to they're looking to see the beta test, which you are all waiting for, in order to make sure that they invest in us and we have a working product.
Yep.
So we do have a few coins lined up. I'm not willing to share them at this stage because the commitment for me is the commitment of the exchange of money into the exchange of service. So they may renege on that. And I don't want to put them in a position where they feel like they have to, because we're talking on Zoom or YouTube, but luckily this is probably a lot safer.
And if I can say this, Mike, there will be a listing fee for coins that want to join the game platform. We might have a few join off the bat, but there will be a listing fee. And as we explained earlier, with the economic model that I was detailing, a portion of those funds, once our overhead is covered, will go toward buying back the coin and supporting our market. So our use cases being used by you guys will directly impact our investors. And that's the goal of this. I did, and Mike, I completely agree with your sentiment to move past LPC. I was just trying to address Oscript's question as directly as possible. So in lieu of that, if I could get a word in about the rebranding quickly.
Okay.
So as I joined the team as the head of operations, which I'm really excited about, part of my job is going to be to maintain open communication between what we're doing as a team and the community to make sure that the community is up to speed. So I'll be continuing to write articles, to create promotional videos, and then I'll be using those materials not only to keep the investors up to speed, but also to drive sales to our products. So basically, I'm going to be working at getting people to use our Authenticate platform. I'm going to be reaching out to devs. I'm going to be running a marketing campaign. I'm going to be pushing our game on the App Store, and we might try and do like a paid promotion for that to make sure that we can get into the top 10, to make sure that people know about this game. We're going to be pushing on mainstream crypto news outlets, as well as possibly some other outlets that aren't crypto related, because what we're doing really is unique. I mean, augmented reality games paired with the hype of cryptocurrency, especially as we get into a bull market, will be something that the news will want to cover. But that being said, rebranding is crucial because the main point of the game is to bring in new investors, not only to our project, but also to crypto. And if we are the gateway through which they enter into the cryptocurrency world, that's going to be big things. That's going to mean big things for us, because people's first investment into crypto is often their largest. And the problem with the name as it currently stands is most people who are just stepping into this space do not know who Satoshi is or what the connotations of that name are. For instance, I was talking to my friends about, one of my friends named Dan. I was talking to him about this new position that I've taken with SATC. And I was telling him about the exciting things that we're doing. And he said, I want to invest in this. I'm looking to get invested in this cryptocurrency. I'm really interested in what you're telling me. What is this called? And when I told him, he said, that sounds like a Chinese fish market. And which I thought was so funny. And this guy has no experience with crypto other than the conversations that I've had with him. But you can see the problem. Yes, Satsushi, exactly. That's what he sounded like. And so the point is, we need to have a name and a brand that is palatable to people who are not familiar with crypto and to people who are familiar with crypto. And right now, as it stands, our name is only palatable to people who are experienced in the space. And the example with my friend is just a case study for why we need to do this. So I hope that you guys understand. I hope you can get on board. We haven't fully settled on a name yet. This is just one that we're thinking, but we're going to make sure that we've already made sure there's no other cryptocurrency named that currently, or as of a few days ago. However, we need to make sure that there aren't copyright issues. We need to make sure that we can get a logo working that is that we own. And we're still working on some of those things. Mike, do you have an idea for a time frame as to what our timeline is for rebranding, and then what that would entail?
Yeah, the rebranding, in all fairness, would have to work in line to the game launch. It would have to be done. The last thing we want to do is launch the game to the market. In beta test, it isn't so bad, but certainly in game launch, we'd have to, if we were going to rebrand, we'd do it before then. We're reaching out to investors. They're never going to understand. Well, we're reaching out to people that may never invest but play the game. When they start seeing changes in name, okay, they play the game, but they may never then think that actually it was the right name to begin with, or why the reason for the change. So if we're going to do it, we'd have to do it before then. So that gives us probably a couple of weeks to understand what that looks like. That will mean new wallets, new websites, new platform. When I say new, I mean I'm talking about rebranding around our logo.
New logo, new name, new colors.
Yeah, new colors, new roadmap, new white papers, new marketable material. I think if we're going to do it, let's make it powerful. I'm not in the mind that we do it and we do it half-heartedly. I spoke to John about this last night. Spending $200 on websites and things like that isn't in our interest. If we're going to do it, given the backdrop of the marketplace that we're after, we should be looking to spend a few thousand. We should be looking to make sure that what we put out is extraordinary and not ordinary. And that is my same principles we're doing with all of our projects. So we're not going to rush something and get it wrong. We're going to take our time and we're going to get it right, because we cannot afford to track back and double handle our projects and our work, because that is more money that could be invested in something else. So it could be invested on a listing fee. It could be invested on Binance Dex, Bittrex, Coinbase Pro. And these are just some of the things that we would have been talking about this week that may be in the roadmap. But I'm just going to throw that out there right now, but we haven't confirmed anything. But like I said, we do have an aggressive agenda for this year. Once we've rebranded, we will share that with you. And I'm happy that John and Adam have joined our team in helping us manage the workflow across the 24 hours that we currently cover, or I do. So, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up there. The reason why I was getting so many calls is because I leave my job next Friday. So everybody is coming to Liverpool tonight to see me and wish me well. So they've started turning up and checking into hotels. So I will be online later, and I will probably drop into Discord now and again. I'll script the preview of the game. We will drop into the announcements after this. So you'll be able to see Martin turning on his phone, getting into the game, and you'll see a very quick spin of him doing of his phone and the coin within his room. I will share with you the two pictures that we received, the one posted the 15th and the one that I was shared with from Damon. So we might do a spot the difference competition. And from that, I wish you all well. Thank you for coming on today. I know there's only 13 of you. Most of that is due for us not having technical issues. So please, if you can relay our conversations back in the community, embrace what we've said, talk to people about what we've said. The more people that talk to each other, the easier it is for us. But appreciate your time today. And next week we'll have less technical issues because Adam will be with us and he's the man for this kind of thing. So excellent. Thank you very much. And I'll speak to you all soon.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye, guys.
And I will be posting a written recap of the things that have happened here, and maybe I'll be able to share a little bit more information and explain the relevance of it to our vision. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the chat.
Excellent. Cheers.